What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Content A Corner. This is Herb.
What's up, everybody? It's Lens.
Sorry if I'm a little tired. I just woke up from a nap that I needed because 2 hours of sleep at night is not enough to function properly.
Get
So,
your proper 8 hours, dude. What are you doing?
listen, you told my body that. My body's like,
Hey, Herbert's body,
mm.
get the proper 8 hours. What are you doing?
It's like, get your shit together. Anyway, um, so we're going back to the animes today because we're going to talk about season 2 of The Irregular at Magic High School. One of the few animes that doesn't lie to me. You know?
That's true. It does not lie to you. It tells you outright, hey, your main protagonist, he's broken. Super broken. And
Mm.
there's no lies about it. They let you know
The
immediately.
first scene.
The first scene, they're just like, you want to know how broken? Well, take a look. And then he, like,
Mm.
nukes a battlefield. So,
Well, it turns out, when we find out, it was an entire navy,
it wasn't maybe.
which is ridiculous.
Pretty dumb.
um, yeah, so for those who haven't seen the first season, it's not like a super high recommend on my list, but it's a fun watch, I would say. It's fun. Nothing
Um,
crazy, though.
it's okay. It it's okay to like pass the time if you're not really doing anything. I think that they attempt to tackle a social issue. They try to tackle like classism, but they do it
Yep,
poorly.
they do.
I mean, like
They
the first season, it was kind of like this main character who is extremely broken doesn't fit into the rules of like the school that he's attending, so therefore he's considered like a lower class of person, which a bunch of people are considered at that school. So that's their like version of trying to tackle classism.
It's like, hey, he sucks at standardized tests, but he's actually a super genius. He just sucks at taking tests.
Yeah, and I feel like while there was a wholehearted attempt to tackle the issue, right? Like they tried to like show discrimination and like isolation and stuff like that, but it wasn't really done well. And then they kind of dropped it. Like it was like, and he's so broken, everybody's convinced he's broken, and now like there's peace amongst everyone. And I'm like, that what? What? They did do an interesting arc where like people who were being like oppressed like fell prey to extremist groups and stuff like that. So I'm like, there are interesting concepts going on. It's just the execution that could be better. And then like the second season, they kind of like this no longer exists. Like everybody's
You know
kumbaya
what?
now.
You know what kind of takes me out of this whole like struggle they're giving?
What?
Kind of is the fact that he can't fit in. Meanwhile, by comparison, he's like a member of one of the most powerful families on the planet. But I digress. Like, you know,
Yeah, I mean that, and also like I feel like in the second season, right? Because this is why we're talking about it. The second season wrapped up. Um, the second season kind of changed the whole uh, classism from like super powerful magicians and not so powerful magicians to what you call it to just normal humans and magicians. Like magicians are being like oppressed and like used as like I don't want to call it slave labor because it's not slave labor, but it's like unfair working conditions or soldiers or something. They're looked at as items and as weapons rather than people.
the cocoa industry, the coffee industry.
Yeah, yeah. But here's my problem: we don't actually see that. like they say it, right? They say like, oh, I'm doing all this so that magicians can like be looked at in a different light and accepted as like normal people. But I have not seen one instance of someone being, oppressed. So it's like, where's it happening? What's the example? How am I supposed to sympathize with your cause if I don't see anything happening?
No, it's true. It's true. Um, but I don't know. Like you said, it's a kind of like throw it on, and it's dubbed, so you could even throw it on in the background now if you want. Like you don't have to sit there and read subtitles. And I mean, while they try to do some of these like topics that are something different, right? Uh, it kind of gets overshadowed by other shit they do. Like, oh, I don't know what I'm thinking of. Incest.
Yeah, like there's a super weird incestual relationship going on between the main character and his sister, and like it's just so weird, dude. It's just weird.
Yeah,
It's just weird. And I don't understand like where they're trying to go with it. Well, they're trying to like imply that like they're gonna end up together, but like what?
because if I remember, they are like actually blood related, right? If I remember correctly,
I'm pretty sure. Like we don't. Yes, yes,
maybe.
maybe.
Yes. No.
Here's the thing: we don't know enough to say that they're blood related, right? They call each other brother and sister. Everybody refers to them as brother and sister, so we can make the assumption that they're blood related,
Mm.
right? Um, but like technically, there is no like physical evidence. So at any point, they can just pull the card out of their hat and say, "Hey, like they're not actually blood related. They were just raised together, so that's why they call each other brother and sister." Like they can do that, sure, but that doesn't make anything better. It doesn't make it any better. It doesn't like fix the issue.
Like I don't know. It's weird because like they'll be like I'll go through the series not thinking like I'll be like yeah, no, cool story, and I'll forget about it like because they won't address that shit for a while, and then they'll have just one scene that just like really brings it up, and I'm like, right, it's that kind of anime, yeah. So, but like overall, it's a fun watch. If you enjoy an anime of just an overpowered character just being overpowered, it's a fun watch. You know, it's not one of the best for that, but it's not bad.
It's not. I still think it can be better. Like in terms of
It
action,
could be 100% better.
yeah, in terms of action, I think the first season was better. The second season was kind of boring. Um, like there
Yeah.
was like the magical fights were
You know what else it is too? Now I'm thinking about it,
what?
because they show us in the beginning how busted he is, right? How
Hmm.
busted our main character is in the beginning.
Hmm.
Seeing him like, oh no, he's gonna have struggle with this. No, he's not. Like I already know this, and like I said, I enjoy being overpowered, like seeing an overpowered character. But at the same time, I want to see him. I want to see the scale at which he just is overpowered at a higher level. Like, case in point, Overlord, another series about an overpowered character, which I think is far superior to this in that aspect.
Very far
Um,
superior.
we know he's overpowered. We know he's broken, but that's why we don't really see him in situations where we're like, oh no, how's he gonna deal with this? Except for like one time, which is at the end of season one when he fought one of his own like friends NPCs that is also really Brolic. So even he wasn't sure he could win, and I'm like, oh damn, because now there's someone who's equally as Brolic as broken as he is was
Mm.
well almost as equally as broken, and that builds tension. But other than that, they don't even they don't show us like, oh man, he has to deal with a human. No, because they know we're not going to be interested in that. Instead, they show us the people around him that have to deal with shit that could actually be an issue,
Yeah,
and I feel that is better. You know?
it's much better because like also the interest that you put in the Overlord isn't really about whether or not like the main character is gonna beat somebody or whatever. It's like it's the main character's goal, right? He wants to like take over, like kind of take over the world, and like make a big enough like splash to like figure out what's really going on, why he's here, and all this stuff. So like there's a deeper goal, and it's a lot of world building happening, and that's the fun part. You get to see like how does this person's decision affect the world around them, and how do the people of this world react to it? You know, like do they retaliate? Do they align themselves with him? Like, you know, there's a lot of options that are flowing in the midst here.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, with a regular Magic High School, it's kind of like, all right, well, what's this person's goal? Some arbitrary goal about I actually don't know. I don't know what the main character wants. He just wants to protect his sister, right? Which he could do just fine, but he's also working on like multiple projects and learning how to become human and like emotions or whatever. It's so vague.
What do you call it? I would say like the other thing is what do you call it? I want to explain the reason why he's quote unquote emotionless and not human is because of how to describe it. His power is what how do I put this? Personal save points in a sense. Digital backups where like let's say he gets his arm blown off.
Hmm.
He's missing an arm. Well now with his magic, he just quote unquote re-uploads how his status from before the fight started to this moment. So it's like it heals, and the reason that they describe it as to why that affected his emotion is because he can do that to other people. So let's say someone else lost a leg. No, well, not us lost a leg. We'll say got impaled, right? And he heals them.
Mm.
However long that would have taken that person normally to, let's say, heal. Let's say they wouldn't have died, or even if they were have died and they got medical attention and they healed normally, whatever. However long they would have taken to heal and whatever pain they would have felt in those months slash years to heal, he feels instantly, all at once. So they describe him shutting down emotionally as a way that he like kind of forced himself to cope with all the pain he would felt on the regular from using his ability for himself and or healing others.
Yeah, which you know when you break it down, it's a lot. That's brolic, right? But
Yeah.
also I don't care. Because he shrugs it off like a champ every time. Like I think the one time you ever saw him like actually like pass out was like the end of the second season when he like quote unquote healed an entire skyscraper, which was
Yeah,
more of a mental taxation based off of like
because there's no pain
calculation.
there.
There's
It's an
no pain.
inanimate
It
object.
was just like calculations that like tax his brain. But nah, he like she's like, oh, but you don't understand the pain that he feels. I'm like, well, it doesn't seem like he's feeling anything. He's good. So
Yeah.
let's not beat around the bush. Like he's fucking fine. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like there has never been a single point in this anime when they like worry for him, and I'm just like, oh my god, I should be worried. No, no, I'm just like he got it.
No.
He got it.
Yeah. So it's kind of like if you're never gonna worry about the main character, that removes one of the interesting like plot points that you can have. And then the world building is kind of weird in this show because there isn't any.
I do. So one thing I like about this world, I will say, is that I do enjoy that they basically broke down that like, oh yeah, we can do that the whole saying of like magic is just science we haven't figured out yet. They took that to the extreme because like they can perform magic, but it's because they now know the science behind it, and they just
Yeah,
do magic now in the regs.
yeah. Magic is just
Which
another form of science.
yeah, which I am 1,000% okay with. I was just like, you know what? That's interesting. I like that. Mind you, not everyone can still use magic, but I mean, it's broken down to like, can I use magic? Sure. I just need a device to cast my spells. Well, what kind of device? I don't know. What do you always have on you? We'll make one like that. You want a watch? I got you. You want a phone? Your phone? I got you. Do you just want to have a gun? A straight up gun?
Sure, we'll
Got
make that
you.
work. Yeah, I'll say the magic system is kind of cool, but here's another problem with it. It's way too convoluted.
It is.
It's
It
way too
is.
like when they start getting to like complex magics, right? They they spent like I remember there was one scene they spent like 5 minutes explaining how like oh these beings from another dimension came through here through black holes. See the theory is I'm like it's wordy. It's wordy. Like I could follow it. Sure, I could follow your logic, but like there's a lot of gaps in terms of like okay, well I have to like just accept that this is a thing. And does it matter? Does it really matter? Like is this really going to come back and like be a factor later? Come on. Come on. So it I feel like there's a lot of fluff when it comes to like explaining how the magic works. I'm like, you don't have to explain how it works, dude. Yeah, it's you said it's science and you did science things and like fine. I'll just accept it.
Now, I'm also not gonna say that. I want to point out we're not against a wordy anime. Like fuck, we love the Monogatari series, and that shit is wordy as hell.
True.
Like
It's just the
it
words
just
have to
depends
get you
on
somewhere.
it depends on how it's done. It all depends again on how it's done, how it's presented. Cause oh man, but
Like there's a
like you said,
difference.
it's something. Yeah.
There's a difference
Good.
between like a wordy dialogue which happens to be interesting engaging it may be challenging like these two individuals like thought processes and intelligence and they're like playfully like dancing around a subject and it could be intellectual it could be good, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the spectrum you have like oh, how does this work? And then somebody just throws word salad at you for like 5 minutes, which kind of like doesn't make sense when you really think about it, but like it's fine.
But you know what it is? I find it less annoying than, and this has happened to me in an anime, which actually made me stop watching the anime. City was under attack by quote unquote evil, force or whatever. Then these people are trying to evacuate this building, and they're like, "See, this is why Group A like should have dealt with Group B already, and the Group B needs to get their shit together." And then this girl's like, "Nah, but that can't happen because you see." And then as soon as she says "cause you see," it cuts outside, shows more of what's going on outside, then cuts back inside, and she goes, "And that's why that wouldn't work." What?
I hate that. I
I'm
hate
just
that.
like, bro, that was the first episode.
Of what?
That wasn't the first. No, no.
No, you refuse to like
It's
let
one of
people
the
know.
few Gundam series I've never finished.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and and I want to point out I watched through the one I hated the most. I sat through that, but that was mostly just because I'm one of those people that like if I don't like something and then you say, "Oh, I don't know," I like no, I should finish it because you don't know. You don't know. Well, you know what? Now I watch it. Now I know, and I fucking hated it. And I'll tell you why. Here's a dissertation with a PowerPoint. Sit your ass down, because now you did this to yourself. Now I'm gonna have you here for 3 hours talking to you about why I hate it. You did this to yourself. Could have left it alone.
Oh my god. But no, I do not like that trope. Oh, you know it's funny, like that's a trope when it comes to comedy, right? So when you have a character that you want to portray as funny, but you're not good enough to actually write a joke, what you'll do is kind of like have them start the joke, cut, and then it cut to straight at the punchline, and then they'll just say the punchline, so you heard nothing else of the joke, and everybody laughs, right? You see it all the time in like
Ha ha ha
sitcoms.
ha ha ha
Oh
ha
man,
ha.
that was hilarious. This guy's a riot. Um, but like that doesn't work if you're like actually like giving exposition. this,
Yeah.
this is like pertinent information that you might want to know, and then that's why this won't work. What? How? What? Like, what did I? What? Why didn't you? Was it really not important? I mean, it seemed important.
It seemed very important. It seemed extremely important. You made it seem like it's one of the centers of the story of our conflict. Like, but no, it's cool. You don't need to know that. Fucking. Oh man, it's too
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Too much.
silly. Anyway, back to
Mhm.
Irregular at Magic High School. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I really wish this series was better, man.
Oh, and he has a quote unquote harem, but not really. But yeah,
I mean, can you have a harem when you're only interested in one like woman?
is it? Well, let me hold on, because I'm thinking. Is a harem where you're interested in all of them and you have multiple girls, or is it just that there are multiple girls interested in you?
Well, the factor is the multiple girls have to be interested in you because if you're just interested in a bunch of girls, you're just a man, right? So like they have to be
Fair.
interested in you. But the question is, do you have to be interested back?
See, I was gonna say, because if I look at one of the classic examples of the harem, one of the first classic examples that I can think of, Love Hina.
Hmm.
He wasn't interested in all the girls that were there that he was living with, but they were all interested in him.
This is true. This is true.
And that is one of the quintessential harem
It is
animes
it is one of
slash manga.
it is like the first.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I'm like, I feel like in this sense, he has a harem because there are multiple girls in the show that seem like they're interested, but at the same time, I feel like some of those girls don't seem like they're fully interested sometimes too. Like case in point, the student council. I don't know if it was the president or vice president. I forget her name.
President.
She looks like she's interested. I know her name's Saigusa. I
Yeah,
just forget if she's
president.
VP or
No,
full prez.
she was the full
Uh,
prez.
she was the full prez. Okay, so I'm just like she seemed like she was kind of interested, but at the same time, she was like, "Oh, well, like I know you had to do something important, and it had to get done, but you left me, so fuck you." Like, yeah, I don't know. And then there's like the girl Erica, who it almost seems like she sometimes hints she's interested, but then other times she doesn't like even react or anything special
Is
when
that
he's
the is
around.
that the sword user?
And as a sword user, who's my favorite one out of all of them, so
See, the
I
thing is,
love
I
her.
can't tell if she's into the main character or if she's into Leo.
You know what's funny? So like, in the second season, they kind of like show a hint of that. It seemed like there because two different scenes. One of them seemed like she is close to Leo. I don't know if she's into him because like he went to her family's school for a
Yeah.
bit, you know. So they became close friends because of that. And I'm sure it's that childhood friend. They're gonna end up together. It's a guarantee. It's already set in stone.
Mm.
Um, but there also is a scene in season two with just about the Valentine's Day chocolate where she like someone straight up asked her like, oh, so you want to give it to what do you call him, protagonist. I forget his name because he's just so like blank to me. um do you want to give it to, oh, it's a protagonist, huh? And she like blushes, she's like, And I'm like, so you do? But you don't act like it like ever around him. Either you're super good at hiding, or it's like a crush and nothing more. You know?
Yeah, it's really weird because, like, for example, like, all right, so her and Leo are close because you see that when everybody visited Leo in the hospital, right? Because he got attacked, um, he was putting up a brave face. But like the moment everybody left and it was only Erica around, he like dropped it. So like they could be vulnerable around each other.
I want to point out, yo, props to him for keeping that brave face because my man looked healthy as shit when they were
He looked
around.
fine. He looked like he was just like it was just a little scuffle. He's like, nah, bro, I'm ready to get back out there. I was like, yo, this man don't care about vampires, huh?
And then everyone left. It's just Erica, and she's like, "I'm dying, I'm dying, help, help!" Like, yeah,
She was like, good job. I'm like, yeah, good job. Like, you had me fooled.
bro, I thought you were fine. I was about to ready to put you on the front lines. Also, I do like how people have different styles of magic, and Leo, I just like Leo's style of magic, just because it's the usual strong man. Just I'm gonna strengthen my body
He's the
and
tank.
punch you really hard.
He's the tank.
Yeah, he's the tank, bro. I love it. Like I love that. You know, I just like it. It's cool. And Erica's is cool too. It's just like my sword is sharp. Well, duh, it's a sword. No, no,
No,
no,
no, no, you
no,
don't get it. It's like super sharp.
no.
You-
Like my sword can cut a vacuum. What?
what? I don't think it's that sharp. Let's calm down. It's
It's
not
not.
that. It's not
It's
that sharp.
not. It's not.
But it's pretty
That's
sharp.
bleach.
It's pretty sharp.
That's bleach.
I haven't seen anything. Well, actually, there's a couple of things it can't cut through, but that's like super magically reinforced, like body armor.
You know what it is? It reminds me of like I wouldn't be surprised if it was like your Nuki holder and it's like, "How I'm gonna cut this? You can't cut what's already been cut."
So dumb.
What?
It's so
What?
ridiculous.
It's like I'm gonna cut this thing in half. What if I already cut it in half? So you can't cut it because I already did that. You
The
ain't shit.
Yuki holder is mad fucking ridiculous. Speaking of which, thank you for reminding me. I have to catch up on that series.
It's great. It's great. But back to the series at hand. Um, I've like it's definitely a series that has plenty of interesting things about it. They just don't carry through or follow through with those interesting things
Yeah,
to their maximum potential.
yeah. I really don't care about like most of these situations. Like honestly, I think the only reason I was continuing to watch because the first season gave me the impression that the main character's goal was to kind of take down the family of which he hails
Yeah,
because they rejected him, but he still works for them and he's still like in contact with them, but like he
it's
doesn't
weird.
like them because and that's why they don't like live in the same place. I don't understand the true nature of like their relationship, and I think that can use some clearing up. And then also the main character's kind of future goals need clearing up because I feel like things are happening to him rather than he is doing things. It's being reactive, not proactive.
Oh no, hell yeah, he's straight chilling most of the time, and then shit happens around him. He's like, "Ah, shit, here we go again."
Yeah. And if the fights were cooler and if the main character was more interesting, I'd be okay with that. But he's not, so I'm not.
I was looking forward to it only like when they announced season two. I was looking forward to it only because before I watched it, I was like, "Hey, oh wow, this actually got a second season. This light novel series actually got a second season. What?" So that's number one, which gives me hope for another season of Overlord. Even though there's already been like
Three.
3 seasons of it. Yeah, 3 seasons. I want more.
We'll probably
I
get
am
another
greedy.
season. We'll probably get another season of Overlord because it's actually good. It's well received. Um,
Yeah, and the light novel's almost done.
Word. So yeah, like they're probably gonna finish the light novel and then just like pump out a couple more seasons and call it a day. Um,
Yeah.
I'm still holding out for Chivalry of a Failed Knight because I was a fucking
I'm
baller
sorry, I heard
ass
Full Metal Panic.
dude. I already got like a third season of that, so I'm a full believer in that too.
You're good. You're good for another 10 years. Now that you got a third
Bro,
season.
Here's the thing. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not because they took 10 years for another season, and that season was fire. So take as long as you want, because I know you'll come. Because I know you'll come back.
So you're just like, you know what? You gave me fire. I can wait.
I can
If
wait.
it's gonna be fire,
If
I
it's
can
going
wait.
word, that's the thing. I was afraid that it wasn't going to be fire. Right. First off,
Yeah.
10 years. Right. I was super excited it was coming back, and then I was just like, I hope it's good, because if I waited 10 years for garbage, I'll be pretty tight. But it was fire. It was so good, like better than I like could ever have imagined. So I'm good. I'll wait. I am patient. But yeah,
Yes.
Chivalry
So that
though,
was the first reason.
that's what I'm waiting for, because it was a fire
Chivalry,
first season.
from what you tell me. But Lens, it's the same anime as Astra Scores, and that already got two
It's
seasons.
not. It's better. It's faster paced, and it's just better. It's just so much better. Everything about it is better.
That's because this our main character in that one is broken because he trained to be broken instead of just being broken.
Yeah, like see, he's broken, but he's also not. he has a he has something broken about him.
Like he's not a whole broken character. He has a broken aspect,
Exactly.
but he's not a full broken
He's not a
character.
full broken character, and he puts his life on the line every fight. Every single fight,
Literally,
he puts his life on the line,
literally.
and I respect the shit out of him for it. I'm like, yo, like he's not just some broken character that's gonna walk in, like Oko everybody and then like leave and go home and have dinner like nothing happened. Nah, bro, this man goes all out, and he's out of commission for like 2 days. It's like, what happened to him? Oh, he won his last fight. He won.
The epitome of you should have seen the other guy.
Exactly. You should see the other. Oh my god.
Oh, man. But so that was reason one I was looking forward to it. Reason two, because I'm like, okay, I was hoping they would really, really either put him in a position where like, oh man, he's broken, but now he's gonna actually gonna get challenged because he's gonna deal with some shit, or they're just gonna show us new scales of how broken he is. One of those two.
What?
They gave me neither. They
With
literally gave me
Irregular
neither.
Magic High School?
Yeah, they gave me neither.
Yeah, nothing.
Like
Nobody
they didn't
challenged him.
challenge him. They didn't. I thought they were gonna do it because they're like, oh yeah, like we deal with the chick who's the strongest magic
Magician.
user in magician in the U.S. NA. I was gonna say U.S. of A, but it's U.S. NA. I don't know, whatever. I guess United States of North America. I don't fucking know. Anyway, uh, which feels redundant because like USA is already like North America. I don't, whatever. I'm digressing from what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it's like, oh, she's the most brolic from another country, and I'm like, oh, word. Maybe like when they meet, it'll actually be like a fight, because they're both classified as like they're both classified as quote unquote strategic class magicians, which are the highest you can be. I'm like,
Hmm.
yo, this could be lit.
Word, I was excited for their fight. Like, really excited. And then
And then it was over in like 30 seconds.
yeah, he just like bodied her. And he didn't even go hard. He didn't bust out any of like the dangerous stuff. Like, it was just, you're garbage compared to me.
And I'm sitting here, I'm just like, yo, this is because I think they said a strategic class magician is someone who is classified that could destroy like a city. I think they said, right?
Something like that. Basically, somebody who could like change the battlefield instantly.
Yeah, and then that's when I realized, oh, well, I mean,
She should not be
I guess,
classified as such at all.
yeah,
Because she was having
yeah,
trouble with like normal people. Like, how
yeah.
is Erica, like a normal ass magician, considered to be a second class, right? Like,
Hmm.
she's
Hmm.
in the lower class, so she's considered to be a second
Hmm.
class. How is she gonna go toe to toe with a strategic class magician? Like what?
Bro, that shit. When freaking Sirius was like, well, I'm just gonna call her Lena because I'm not gonna call her for a fucking code name. When Lena was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Her sword skills like the best. She's Brolic," and I'm like, "Yeah." Well, I'm like, "Is she Brolic? Are you trash? Or
She's
is it
trash.
both?"
Nah, she's trash.
I think it's both.
Uh,
Nah, I feel like Erica's kind of Brolic.
she is Brolic. I'm not gonna lie, she is Brolic. But like, my whole thing is, you're supposed to literally be the leader of like the most like Brolic group that the U.S. has to offer, right? You're supposed to be
Mm,
that person. The whole Western Hemisphere, that side of the Earth, that's yours. You're supposed to
mm,
reign supreme, and you just got
mm.
schooled by a
By
secondary
a high school
character,
chick.
by a high school chick. I mean, she's a high school chick too, but like, bro,
Let
like,
me phrase that: a secondary citizen, a quote unquote second class citizen in high, who is in high school, who is rated very low, even among her peers.
word. I'm like, come on, like, I was
So that
expecting.
tells me
Mm,
that tells me that just the magic education system in the Western Hemisphere is trash
garbage,
compared to
garbage,
Japan.
garbage. Literally, the main cast of characters minus the protagonist can just simply replace the whole, like, everybody in the Western Hemisphere because apparently they got it like that.
I'm just like, yo, why are y'all getting bodied by regular students when you're supposed to be like Green Beret, Navy SEAL
Word. And
type
we
shit of
they
magicians?
didn't even get, like, she didn't even face like anybody from like the 10 clans or any of like the Brawlic people from the other schools. Like, nope, nobody there. Nope. She didn't even get to like the higher tier characters. And she's having trouble with this garbage man. Stupid.
And you know what's crazy is that watching it, some people will say, "Oh, but she was like keeping up with the protagonist's sister, who's like really brolic." Okay, fair, but I feel like that was more of like compatibility.
That, I
Like
feel
how
like
to put
that
it?
was a challenge of raw power,
Yeah,
not
like don't get
actual
me wrong,
battle.
Lena actually has the power for it. Her skills are what's lacking.
Yes.
How she how she adapts. Because again, Erica. If Erica fought the protagonist's sister, she would get bodied, hands
Instantly.
down.
Instantly.
Work. She get the work. But she's coming out here and keeping up with someone who again has like the top class training is like the most is as powerful as this same sister in raw power, but she's getting bodied by like a sword, this chick with a sword.
Word.
It's
Like,
just
figure it out. Like, come on. Like, you should be winning this battle, but like you're tied. It's just so silly. And that's supposed to be the threat. That's supposed to be the person that poses the greatest threat to like the main character. How am I supposed to believe that? How am I supposed to feel anything?
you don't.
That's the problem. That's the problem with this series, man. Like, a lot of good ideas, bad execution.
Yep. Yep. But it is what it is, right?
Yep. Yep. Fucking vampires, dude. Wasn't even the cool kind. It
Okay.
was some bullshit kind.
Man, is this? They're not even vampires because they're like, oh, we didn't want the blood. It was just a byproduct of what we were doing.
Yeah, I guess leeches or parasites would be the best
Something like that.
descriptor.
Something to that aspect. It's weird.
I
But what
don't
do I
know.
know, right?
I just wish it was better, man. Uh, it could be better, but I'm not working on that team. I'm not the writer.
Nah, Lens, because that's you already came up with a fire anime called Fire Force. You're good.
It's all right. My next project, 2023. Let's go.
See, you just can't. You can't just tell. If you want to tell anybody about it, you got to be like, y'all got to meet in a
Sign this
room.
NDA.
What?
Sign this NDA. Sign this non-disclosure agreement.
That, and y'all gotta be in a room with, like, where your phone, all your like electronic devices are in the other room, so they can't hear you say shit.
Bro, if
So that
you
the freaking the internet, so that the people in Japan can't, who are like eavesdropping on you, or the FBI, are like, don't steal your idea. You know?
bro, if people don't believe that like you're being spied on by technology, like you are. You
Oh,
really
100%,
are. You
thousand
really are.
percent.
Like I'm sorry to break it to you. You are. You're straight up being spied on. I'm a victim.
1000%.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is. So, but that's about all I have to say about the show. Like, it's not bad. It's not great. It's fun for what it is. But other than that, it's just it's not a must see. It's like do I have nothing else to watch? Yeah, I'll throw this on.
Here's the
You
thing.
know,
When did the first season come out? 2017 or something like that.
something like that.
Something like that.
It's been a few years.
I feel like it came out when we had like a string of not so hot anime. I can't really remember what came out that year right now. Like I'm sure we had like good stuff, but like I feel like the overall landscape wasn't like super
Uh,
great.
Damn. Season 1 was 2014, bruh.
2014, perfect. So yeah, it came out when we didn't have like a good string of anime going on. So it's kind of like this one is not so bad. So yeah, let's watch it. I think it just rose above the garbage that surrounded it. That's what happened.
Apparently, we're getting more. I
More
just
what?
looked now. There's, I think it's a spin. It sounds like it might be a spin-off, but it says like 20 schedule for 2021. The honor student at Magic High School, which I'm guessing maybe they're changing the title because technically he's no longer like the considered a second class now
Well,
in his school.
he's he's the head of his own department.
Yeah, but if you notice, his uniform now has the bloom or
Yeah,
the
the
flower, or
flower.
whatever they call them. Yeah, so he's not considered a second class student anymore.
I guess. I guess. I don't know. If it's a
I don't know either,
spin-off,
bro.
if it's a spin-off, I think it's a bad
Hmm.
idea because there's nobody in that anime that I care enough to watch a spin-off of. If it's just a name change, then I'm like, I guess whatever. Also, don't care. Am I gonna watch this next season? Probably, probably. The sunken cost fallacy. I've put too much time in.
but Lens, you need to like chill
I
out,
I
man.
I, I know I need to stop because here's the thing. I've been exercising dropping just shows and anime and stuff. Just like letting it
Mm.
go. No matter how deep into it I am, just fuck it. Because if it's up to the story to keep me hooked. It's not up to me, right? I think that's a fair assessment, right? Like it's not up
Yeah.
to you to power through a series. It's up to the series to keep you interested.
Oh, by the way, quick side note. So yeah, it is a spinoff, and basically it says, how do I put it? The honor student at Magic High School follows the events of the original series as seen through the eyes of Miyuki, Tatsuya's sister.
Who?
The main character's sister.
Oh, why would I care? It's literally the same events happening,
But you
right?
see it through her eyes now. So like when he goes to fight, now we're gonna see what she was doing while he was fighting.
You mean ogling her sister's like body? Like, come on. I don't want me to see the because here's the thing. While I think that he's into incest, she's super into incest. It is wild. So I really don't need to see her point of view.
Like she's really into it. Like, bro, when she was like, I want my brother to be the only man who touches my body for the rest of my life. And I'm like,
Oh my god, it's so weird. It's so
I was like,
weird. So weird.
I'm not okay with this. Not okay with this.
I think if the setting of the anime was in Alabama, they'd be fine.
Rude.
Am I wrong though?
I'm not saying shit.
All right then.
I'm not commenting. I plead fifth.
Fifth. Oh my god, yeah. I'm
I refuse.
all
I
right. So
refuse to
maybe I
comment.
won't watch that.
It's
Because not not only is it like going to be a really weird incest like look at like the series, it's also going to be everything that already happened. Like it's nothing new. I
true.
hate shit like that. Like why are you going to give me a whole season of a season you already did? Fucking lazy.
See, I would have been okay if the Honesty of Magic High School, if it was through her eyes, but it was like what was the name of that like spin-off series of Full Metal Panic?
Fumofu?
Yes, just hilarious. If it was just comedy, straight comedy,
Here's the
I'd
thing
be cool
though.
with it.
Here's the thing. Here's why I like that season. One, it's canon, right?
It is canon.
It's canon. Two, it's new content. It's not a repeat. It just takes place in between the first and second season. It,
But it's hilarious. You know
it
what I
is.
mean?
It's absolutely.
Like,
Yo, it's such a different tone. Because the regular anime is super serious. Like we're talking about like people like, being held at gunpoint, hostage situation, terrorists, like shit's serious. And this hella silly, super fucking
like
silly.
when he fought the karate dude.
He fought the karate dude, and it was so fucking good.
No, you can't use guns. Nah, you can't use explosives. Fight this man.
Pulled out a fucking gun, hit him with beanbags, and he was down. He was like double tap, bang, bang, bang. What are you doing? I'm making sure he's down.
Even he knew to double tap, bro.
Oh, so good.
But
Oh
like,
man,
yeah, man. I don't think I'm gonna watch this. I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I think I'm gonna
it's a
pass.
dub. That's a dub, bro.
Mm-hmm. Now, Lens, for our viewers who are not from New York, could you explain what you mean by that?
If you're not familiar with that phrase, it means you're not from New York. And if you're not from New York, I don't have any obligation to explain it to you.
Wow. Lens, you're basically just telling our fan base to just, I don't know how to put it, get cultured. Is that what you're trying to tell them?
I mean, yeah. New York City has been the
Rude.
center. New York City has been the center of culture since the fucking 1700s, bro. I'm not planning on changing that anytime soon.
Well, damn. You heard it here,
I
folks.
said what I said.
And on that note, I think we'll call it an episode. Uh, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Being that there's now more anime coming out for the season, like season 2 of Doctor Stone started. I'm super hyped for that. Um, among other animes. So you'll probably hear from more about us with that, among other topics as usual. So be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, the underscore content corner, all lowercase, so you can get updates on when episodes go live. And when we go live, catch my weekly Monday evening stream at 7 p.m. on twitch.tv/ content corner. Make sure you catch Lenses Wednesday night stream at 7 p.m. as well, and same channel, and our weekly Friday stream at 7 p.m. Same channel as well, where we call off some stuff. As of the recording of this episode, I don't know what the hell we're gonna call up tonight, but we'll figure something out.
I trust that we will. Yeah.
I I'm almost begrudgingly gonna say if we can't think of anything else, we might have to do Fortnite. Unfortunately,
Uh, I don't mind. You're the one that has a problem with that.
I have so much of a problem with that, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. So on that, so once again, thanks again for tuning in, everybody, and deuces.